Leto isinesia sasha Nesierega medeko Tirumi Oka ito sirena karamu Joy amoge koyo Anyua goa nagetomi Oka ito sire Oka ito aranerie Oka ito sire Oka ito aranerie Kwa nene kwenda na Mwale hiredumu Nyomba yage koyo euke Mora tonga nyoni joru Mogodonero semioro angai Omenye Kaivito da komaga Joy ya moge koyo Enyua gona getomi Okaito shire Okaito aranerie Okaito shire Okaito aranerie kwa nene kwenda na Era inera kwa wanjohi Era njoi ne kanjoe Neto isi serio modegna Daditario aleigoro Metugon Okaito shire na karamu Joy amoge koyo Enyua go nagetomi Okaito shire Okaito aranerie Okaito shire Okaito aranerie Kwa nene kwenda na Nyomba ito nendarega Tuwirima tukionaga Jiano asito neiko huka Tondo wame twirenduhia Muneko Okaito shire na karamu Joy amoge koyo Enyua go nagetomi Okaito shire Okaito aranerie Okaito shire Okaito aranerie kwa nene kwenda na Inye mwale hiredumu Nyomba yage koyo euke Mora tonga nyoni joru Mogodonero semioro angai Omenye Kaivito da komaga Joy amoge koyo Enyua go nagetomi Okaito shire Okaito aranerie Okaito shire Okaito aranerie Okaito shire Okaito aranerie Okaito shire Okaito aranerie kwa nene kwenda na
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Ladies, feel me.
Ladies, say my name.
Kunguru, Mr. Lenny.
Can you feel the pain, 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 pain?
I know that you're fed up. Sing along.
I will never let you down.
Nateni yengoga.
I will never make you cry.
Nateni nesoga.
I will never let you down.
Nateni nyodoga.
My girl, I will never make you cry.
Nateni setoga. Baby, fikiria kila siku mina kupara. Najua wanipenda sana, mbona unadai? I can see you fly. Niko chini bado nitarai. Figa yako ndio mzuri sana. Adhiambo. nimesoika. Najua wanipenda sana, mbona kweli waninyima hizo vitu we. Nyathini dongi ngena manyiga taheriga. Iyengo nagi kwalo na jaber. Njona mi, wange dongo dongo tingo na gonde so na jaber.
I will never let you down.
Nyathini yengo ga.
I will never make you cry.
Nyathini neso ga.
I will never let you down.
Nyathini nyodo ga.
My girl, I will never make you cry.
Nyathini secho
So
ga.
baby, don't go. Never give up.
I know that you fed up.
Won't you say yeah?
Aheriga, amaniga, aduariga.
Can you feel the pain?
I know, Mr. Lady, sing along.
Kama wanipenda basi nionyeshe.
Nashindwa ni kwa nini kila siku tupigana.
Na kama unitaki basi niambie.
Nitafanya nini ama dunia ni hame.
Najua wanitaka mbona wajifanya.
Mimi nakupenda anza leo mpaka mwisho.
Wachana mambo zao wanaona wivu.
Show me what your mama gave to you.
I will never let you down.
Nyathini yengo ga.
I will never make you cry.
Nyathini neso ga.
I will never let you down.
Nyathini nyodo ga.
My girl, I will never make you cry.
Nyathini secho ga.
I will never let you down.
Nyathini yengo ga.
I will never make you cry.
Nyathini neso ga.
I will never let you down.
Nyathini nyodo ga.
My girl, I will never make you cry.
Nyathini secho ga.
Baby, don't go. So baby, don't cry. Baby, say my name. Can you feel the pain?
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Friday edition of the Power Morning Drive Show with me and Wanyoike. I hope that you are having yourself a fantastic start of this Friday. The weekend is here, so pretty stoked about that conversation as well. But in case you're just joining us right now, thank you so much for making the time to come be with us here on the Power Morning Drive Show. Remember, you can get in touch with us on our social media handles. We are Power Radio across all socials. And the latest thing and the latest update is that you can text, call or send us a voice note on our line. That is 0748379231. I repeat, 0748379231 as well. Yes, let us know what's happening on your side of the corner of the world. Today we shall be talking about social justice, the state of social justice in Kenya. So definitely stick around as we get that conversation going. And we apologize today. We will have to do quite a different format than we are always doing here. So we will start off with the conversation. It's going to be online due to some unforeseeable circumstances. But it's still, the show must go on. So we shall be talking to Mr. Alaman James. He is a social justice advocate. And he will be painting a picture for us what exactly the state of social justice in Kenya is looking like. So that's the conversation that we're going to be having in the next 5 minutes. So before I get into that conversation, let me get you the day's traffic updates, and then we shall do the news roundup after our conversation is done with Mr. Alaman James. So yes, let me just keep you up to date with what is happening on the roads of Nairobi this morning. And I start off with Thika Road, of course, and it's looking quite busy this morning. The drama starts from KCA University down towards town. I can also see that Kiambu Road is looking very busy as well. Same situation, especially as you go from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, that's the DCI, into town. Same situation along Limuru Road as well. As you leave the village market area into Karura looking crazy. Wanyoike is not looking too bad this morning. You guys are moving, so nothing much to complain about. Same situation on Langata Road as well. It's as clear as it can get. Raila Odinga Road, just a little bit of a snarl up there as you move from the Timol roundabout as you go towards Kenyatta Market. Let's see what's happening along Mombasa Road. And Mombasa Road is looking busy actually. Madness starts at Panari as you go towards town. Jogoo Road is also slowly but moving, not usual. It's not as usually well, it's actually very busy this morning. I can see that it starts all the way from the Outer Ring Road intersection into town. All right. In case of any incidents, do let us know. The hashtag to use is hashtag Power Morning Drive. Let me get a quick breather, and then when we come back, we get into our day's conversation. We are assessing the state of social justice in Kenya. What are the gains? What are the pains? What more can we do to ensure that social justice is fast-tracked in this nation? And of course, I've been joined by James Alaman. He's a social justice advocate. So see you in a bit as we get into that conversations. If you have any questions for him, you would like to changia katika hii mada, you can call us in or text us or send us a voice note. Our line is 0748379231. I repeat, 0748379231. So we will see you after this short musical break. Be right back.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Sema kweli bado nakuhata, and on the daily bado nakufuata. Kosa sio hoja zaidi ya kukupenda. Vipi nikatupa ndoto tulizoziota. Uliniwasha nare enzi zetu za kupare, kwa mvinyo na makale, magizani hadi ngware, nikijifanya dakitare wa mabinti wale wenye shepu za hatari, nikapotelea ndani. Ila mwambie nampenda, roho ya mtamani bado nampenda. Ukimwona mwambie nampenda, roho ya mtamani bado nampenda. Ukimwona tabasamu la kishua, roho sawa na mabua. I can't help but miss you every morning. Vile unapendeza, kama ningeweza jua yepi ya kutarajia, nisingejipata mashakani kwa niliyoyatenda. Ninayempenda ni wewe, hakuna mwingine wa kubadili penzi. Ningependa tuelewane, kiburi kisinikosanishe nawe. Uliniwasha pale na sikushika nare, ukanisema kwa jirani kwamba mimi kisirane. Aibu za hadharani, vile penzi hatari, njoo unipe amani kama hapo zamani. Mwambie nampenda, oh yeah, roho ya mtamani bado nampenda. Ukimwona mwambie nampenda, roho ya mtamani bado nampenda.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Back with another ba bum ba bum bum. Back with another ba bum ba bum bum. Back with another one ba bum ba bum bum. Let's get it ba bum ba bum bum. Gotta be a lane to chasing a Mary Jane, chasing a Mary Jane, to chasing a Mary Jane. Gotta be a Jane 'cause I really like the way, I really like the way your music is insane. Gotta be a lane to chasing a Mary Jane, chasing a Mary Jane, to chasing a Mary Jane. Gotta be a lane 'cause I really like the way. Your music is insane. Joe, how do you think, Joe? What can you show about this girl I know? About this girl called Mary Jane. About the way she used to kill them with the show. Kill them with the kill them with the pretty girl there. She got that shaku, got that katika. Hey, hey, yeah. Every night and day, yeah. Up before 20 p.m. Everybody say, yeah. Gotta be a lane to chasing a Mary Jane, chasing a Mary Jane, to chasing a Mary Jane. Gotta be a Jane 'cause I really like the way, I really like the way your music is insane. Gotta be a lane to chasing a Mary Jane, chasing a Mary Jane, to chasing a Mary Jane. Gotta be a Jane 'cause I really like the way, I really like the way your music is insane. Gotta be a lane to chasing a Mary Jane, to chasing a Mary Jane, to chasing a Mary Jane. Gotta be a Jane 'cause I really like it. Man, I really, 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 really like it. Yeah, man, I really like to dance, really like to move my body like that. Really like to dance, really like to move my body like that. Okay, najua unapendanga energy drink, lakini ukitaka mali safi and the chain. Kuna manzi ana everything you need. Gotta break your back, gotta break your back, gotta break your back until everything don't be leveling. Go so sweet, they be jealousy. Everything about you is so highly. I know you know, they know you got nice energy. I keep songa. Every time so exciting. Now what lie, you mesmerizing. Nice energy. I keep songa. That is why Mary Jane makes you feel some type of way. Gotta be a lane to chasing a Mary Jane, chasing a Mary Jane, to chasing a Mary, to chasing a Brandon, Jerry, to chasing a Kendra, to chasing a Abby, to chasing a Erika, to chasing a Lynn, to chasing a Tracy, to chasing a Dodo. Now Warembo, 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 Warembo.
Les mesdames et messieurs, écoutez-moi tout le monde. Pounette, Alicious, everybody come on, let's dance.
Hunting meet and greet, sweeping ladies off their feet. Bongo Kongo na lingi yo, naingiza shilingi siringi. Oh yeah, wanataka more. Nashika mic na wakabako, always tighter than before. Nafanya loco international, locomotion kila nation. Woko moko noko washa moto moto kasambusa, nakagusa kama riga. mina bonga na ye akileta noma mina bonda ye Afrika Kenya Kongo na ye shika jamu koma na ye kini genge mobimba bolinga na ye kuna kapari ye swaga mekubali kuna party ye kala kasupa ndo kakari ye kana kachike nda kakari ye kaikari ye minjo mkenge wawadi so soft super skia didi ladies wanna go with me but buga missing naga time This one's so delicious. Me for the Christmas. Sangu duni mos. Chika ganji na kuflos. Africa mobimba. Mokili mobimba. Kenya Congo mobimba. Commotion kwenye flow. Do you flash a king of flow? Ladies, this how we go. Alekita, mata, kita, mata. Boss in a mata. If I mean I'm getting outer daily boss na kula mata.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Right, that is Punit alongside the very beautiful Alicios. And it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show with me and Wanyoike. And as promised earlier on, we were to have a discussion today assessing the state of social justice in Kenya. And, we're living in turbulent times. And so it's really good to have a check-in on what exactly is happening on that front. And of course, I am joined by none other by the one and only Alaman James. He is a social justice advocate, but I'm sure he is a man that wears many hats. And it would be very interesting to hear some of the sentiments that he have for us, and of course the insights, because this is his world in many ways than not. So good morning, sir. It's so good to have you on the Power Morning Drive Show. Thank you so much for making the time to speak to us. And so maybe we can just start off with a brief introduction of who you are and a little bit about the work that you do. You're muted. Yeah. We still can't hear you. Or it shows that you're still muted. Are you muted? No. Okay. We still can't get you. Okay. And now you, yes, now you are back. Yeah.
Yeah, so my name is Alaman James. I'm a social justice advocate, and I organize the Social Justice Centers Working Group. This is a consortium of justice centers within the country. I specifically run the Dadora Community Justice Center. Essentially, the idea of a justice center is to have community-based human rights organizations that monitor, document, and report cases of human rights violations and abuse within the jurisdiction
Did we? We can't hear him now. We can't hear him.
for our lives.
Ni sisi. Yep. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can.
Okay, good. All right, sorry about that. I think there was a little bit of a technical hitch. So before we even set the precedence of our conversation today, it's a term that we really hear a lot being thrown left, right, and center. Social justice. Kindly break down to us what social justice as a concept is. What entails the work of social justice? What is it about?
Well, social justice is basically, if I anchor it in our constitution, it's basically about the common rights, especially the rights enshrined in Article 43 of our constitution, which is right to food, right to health, um, right to a proper environment. So basically, our struggles are revolving around Article 43 issues, issues of housing, the basic amenities that make the life of a human being or a Kenyan comfortable. Those are the issues that we advocate for,
Yeah.
because we believe that there is enough for everyone,
Yeah.
and so there's no need for one uh, part or one group of people, a group of people to be having more, or to be living in absolute how will you put it, in absolute wealth, or favor, or whatever you could call it. And then we have another lot of people who are struggling to make ends meet, who can barely afford 3 meals a day. And so our argument is that if everything is done right, all factors considered, I think everyone should be able to live comfortably and be able to afford the basics, the bare minimum. Yeah.
And of course, I am a firm believer in politics. Really have a bigger role to play in terms of looking at social justice. And of course, over the past 2 to 3 years in Kenya, we've seen an absolute all-time high of political and civil unrest in the country. Talk about the Gen Z protests that we saw last year, and of course, the memorial this year. People are on the streets to demand for what they deem to be a fair or an unfair treatment to the things that they desire, and of course the things that the constitution affords them. So as we look at the context of the political landscape that we are currently living in, how does the current time speak into the work that you do at the social justice centers, and how has it sort of shaped into how has it shaped the work that you do, even in the fight for social justice, if at all any?
So what people do not know or do not remember, we've been doing protests. The social justice centers have been doing protests since 2018. Our first protest was dubbed Sabasaba March for Our Lives, and we were marching against extrajudicial killings. So the idea was everyone was marching from their hood, like guys from Githurai were marching from Githurai, guys from Dandora were marching from Dandora. Then we would meet up, continue building the crowd until and people were walking until we got to Kamkunji, the famous Kamkunji grounds. That is where the social justice movement was officially launched. I remember back then we had the presence of Chief Justice Emeritus William Tunga. Of course, I remember back then we had Maina Kiai, we had the likes of Esther Pasaris, who are in support of whatever we were doing. And we had the mothers and victims. So there's a network we have called Mother Survivors Network of mothers and women who've lost their husbands and children in the hands of the police through extrajudicial. And so we've been doing that. So the Gen Z protest last year was a build-up, was as a result of us setting the stage and keeping the Article 37 rights alive for all that time. And it is also important for me to say that we were the first lot to present a petition against the finance bill on June 6th last year. And we presented the petition in Parliament, and I remember it was received by Honorable Babu Owino and Honorable Samuel Atandi. And so that in itself led to the subsequent protests against the finance bill. It opened up the avenue of people actually talking about the finance bill and realizing that there is something here that is not working. And so I will say that the organizing that or the protests that happened last year did not just come out of the blues. This was a result of continuous organizing, continuous agitation for our rights, or our social rights, and continuous organizing of people who had decided that they are going to keep on fighting for what they feel is rights that are being denied to them and which are boldly enshrined in our constitution.
Right. Could you talk to us a little bit about what entails a full circuit moment for a social justice, maybe advocacy campaign? Like in terms of, for example, you identify an issue that you want to rally people around to. At what particular point does it now get taken up? Do you go to the government and present this case? Tell us what the process of getting an issue addressed right from the community and the grassroots level to perhaps potentially a national level, and if at all there is anything that you have been able to be a part of in the social justice centers that you help convene.
So we have thematic areas in the social justice movement. Of course, one of them is the right to life, where extrajudicial killings and police excesses are tackled under. We also have a thematic area against gender-based violence, which generally tackles issues related to violence, inclusive of sexual violence. We also have thematic areas on ecological justice. This involves the environment, the rehabilitation of and reclaiming of spaces that have been lost, probably due to illegal dumping or other vices. And so this guide the way we do our advocacy, because in line with our thematic areas, there's always something that comes up. There's always a case of someone who has been assaulted, someone who has been killed, either through IPV, intimate partner violence, or through the partners who they trusted. And so there's always something that comes up that revolves around these social issues. And so once something comes up, and for instance, an issue like femicide, there's a time we, like at the beginning of the year, we had there's a time we even had at least more than 100 women who had been killed through violence, either sexual or gender-based. And so it got to a point where we agreed that no, this is now becoming it should be a national disaster. It's becoming a pandemic, and I think we should organize around it. We should have a campaign around it, just to sensitize people and to call out whatever is happening. And so our campaigns are based on the real issues. Whatever is happening across the country, we come together and try to find ways of tackling it. So that's how we do our work.
I'm just curious about the level of social consciousness, because the hope would be for somebody who is doing the work of social justice, it would be much more powerful if the collective, the whole collective, that's the citizenry, were actively participating in the social and political consciousness. So could you talk to us about the level of social consciousness, even as you do your work within the communities. Have you seen an improvement in the social awareness, in the social consciousness of the communities that you deal with or you serve? Is there a decline? Where are we standing? And how does that speak into the amplification of the work that you do as a social justice advocate, as well as the social justice centers?
Uh, I would say we've seen a massive improvement
Mm,
during the time that I've been in this space, because when we started, people did not understand what it is we were doing, especially in relation to extrajudicial killings. Initially, the community members thought we were defending criminals,
mhm,
we were protecting criminals, and so it was always a norm that anyone who is suspected to be involved in criminal activities
mm,
or theft, the first point of reference will be lynching them or mobbing justice. And
mhm,
so when we came about, especially in my community, and said, no, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. If
mm,
you arrest someone or accused of serious crimes,
mm,
please just let the law take its course. Of course,
mm,
people did not understand why we were doing this. People
mm.
came up with all sorts of innuendos and allegations.
Yeah.
But slowly, with the time, people actually came to realize that there are a lot of people who, when we open that Pandora's box of extrajudicial killings,
Mhm,
there are a lot of innocent people who are killed and branded as criminals. And that
mm,
happened for a long, long time.
mm,
And even as recent as last week, you've seen how people are killed. You know, extrajudicial killings has not stopped. And at least now people appreciate the fact that you will be killed for being in your house. You
mm,
will be killed just for passing by. You will be killed even in a police station. You're supposed to be protected. So I'm glad people now understand that whatever we were talking about, whatever we were saying, we wanted to prevent some of these things that are happening right now,
mhm,
where there are no checks and balances. We decided to give the government or the police service excess power to take, because life is sacrosanct. No one has that uh, mandate to take life. And
right.
so that is very, very important for people to understand. And
Mm,
it has taken a while for people to know that this thing can happen to anyone.
yeah.
It is not a reserve of criminals. Uh, it's not a reserve of certain people who are supposed to die
Mm,
by police bullets, but it can happen to anyone.
right.
And that means that all, each and every one of us should actually advocate against this, because Article 1 of the Constitution gives us the mandate to protect, defend, and uphold the Constitution of Kenya,
Mhm,
which
mm,
basically makes everyone, every law-abiding citizen, everyone who cannot stand human rights violations, a human rights defender.
mm,
And so it's not also a reserve of a few people to defend the rights of others. We want people to come together, to join hands, to close
mm,
ranks, so
mm,
that we can uh, protect our country, protect our rights,
mm,
and make sure that the generation that comes after us
mm,
finds a better country than we've had. Yes.
mm. So I want to talk about something that you mentioned a little bit earlier and build up on that. You did mention that some of the thematic areas that you deal with is ecological justice. We also have sexual justice, this economic justice, and it kind of speaks into the intersectional approach that makes up social justice and the work around social justice. That social justice does not exist minus sexual justice. It cannot exist minus economic justice. It cannot exist minus sexual justice. So why is it important for us to kind of wrap ourselves around an intersectional approach? And as you speak about the intersectionality of these different facets of justice, talk to us a little bit also about the alternative justice systems. I know that you are convening a conversation about alternative justice systems. So where does this intersectionality come in? Why is it important? And how does it speak into alternative justice systems that we are currently dealing with in the country?
Uh, I would say human rights are indivisible. Like
Mhm,
you cannot purport to defend some rights and violate others and say, I'm just defending these rights, while these rights I can't talk about them. They are intertwined, they're joined at the hip. And so we have a duty to come together regardless of the gender, the tribe, and all other factors, and come together and say, because by virtue of being human, human rights basically are we are entitled to them because we are human beings. That's the basic explanation. And so once you're a human being, I do not need to know where you come from or your tribe or your gender or your sexuality. Treat you like a human being. And so the idea is to treat everyone equally, make sure that we protect the vulnerable, we don't violate the constitution. That's ideally how it's supposed to be. And in relation to the alternative justice system, one of the tenets of the alternative justice system that I was speaking about, first of all, what are alternative justice systems? These are community-based methods for resolving disputes outside the courts. And AJS values traditional practices and promotes peace through local solutions. So basically, what I'm speaking about is we have so many cases that are in court that have never been concluded. There's a lot of backlog in our courts, and some of these cases are very petty issues that could have been sorted outside the courts. So we find that AJS tries to find local solutions to solve disputes, and AJS mechanisms are restorative. They are not as punitive as the way the court setup is. And so the whole idea is to have AJS champions within our communities who are trusted within the communities, who can be able to come in and help parties that are having a dispute to actually solve some of these issues amicably, so that after that now they continue living in harmony, other than people having to keep running to court every other time. And so we keep contributing to the backlog of cases in court, because even as we speak right now, there's probably someone filing a new case in court, and the average time for a case in the country to come to a logical conclusion is between 5 to 7 years. You know, so the whole idea is to try and say, look, there are ways we've been doing these things. Probably people have been doing them, but they just didn't have a name for it. And so what we are trying to say is, look, whatever you already been doing, these are AJS mechanisms. But look, you have to anchor these practices under the Constitution of Kenya, and also under the Bill of Rights on Chapter 4 of the Constitution. So even as people are conducting or participating in these mechanisms, at least we want to make sure that they understand that whatever they are doing is actually enshrined in our Constitution, Article 159, which gives the judiciary the powers to promote AJS mechanisms. That's why you've seen the judiciary pushing for communities to embrace this mechanism. You've seen the Chief Justice Martha Koome launching county action plans on AJS in various counties. These are aimed at just making sure that within the counties and within our communities, the courts have an allocation for actually helping citizens participate in the process of justice. And in the AJS mechanisms, we have three mechanisms. One is the autonomous mechanism, where people can be able to solve their issues within themselves. Then we have the other one, which is court annexed. So how court annexed mechanism works is that when a case gets to court, the court actually refers it back to the community and asks you to try and solve it within yourself. And then whatever outcome you come up with, or whatever agreement you come up with, is legally bounded in court. So you go back and say, this is what we agreed. We've decided to do A, B, C, D, and then the court is going to legally bind it, and so that there's also compliance on whatever you've agreed upon. Then last but not least, is the third party mechanism, which involves institutions. Institutions like faith-based organizations, that is churches, institutions like chiefs' offices, institutions like human rights organization, and social justice centers where we fall in. So
Yeah.
that is the whole idea of promoting AJM in our
Right.
communities. Yes.
What has necessitated the shift from the traditional justice systems? Is it that they are not working? Yeah.
You see, the idea of justice
Yeah.
among so many people is that is punitive.
Mm.
You know, for many people, justice for them means the other party who has offended you being incarcerated. That is what justice means to a lot of people. That's why you hear somebody saying, nitaenda kotini, nitakupeleka polisi, nitakupeleka jela. You know, because for them the idea is when someone is incarcerated, then you have justice. But this begs the question: if someone uh, uh, defrauded you of, let's say, 30 million shillings, then you go to court and they are jailed. So does that mean your money comes back? You know, your money will not come back. Yes, this part of the person has been incarcerated, but your money has not come back. And I'll give another example. We had there's another question that the alternative justice system asks: what is justice according? You know, in the AJS mechanism, the question is, what is justice according to the victim? What might be justice according to me might not necessarily be justice according to you. So, for instance, I can quote the case of DJ Evolve and Babu Owino.
Yes.
To many Kenyans, justice would have been Babu Owino being
Incarcerated.
incarcerated,
Maybe.
or him being removed from his seat as a member of parliament of Embakasi East. But according to the family of DJ Evolve, justice to them meant that Babu Owino caters for the medical bills of DJ Evolve, make sure he's comfortable, and he did all that. And so when there was uproar of why this has happened, you know, bona. But then the question was, what is justice according to the victim and the family? Because
Yeah.
that is what matters.
Yeah.
Justice is not served because of public perceptions or opinions. It is what the victim or the disputing parties want, and so it is very important to ask the parties their opinion, what they think will be just according to them, not making assumptions that these people want to go to court, or they want compensation, or they want. Unlike the formal court system, where uh, every every atrocity that is committed, or every crime that is committed, there is a stipulated punishment for it. Like, you know, for instance, if today I'm found guilty of murder, I'll most likely get a life sentence or very many years. If I am found guilty of robbery with violence, you know, for sure, my most probably you'll do a life sentence. But for AJS mechanisms, you become very creative on the remedies and try to, you know, ask or try to consult on the best way to do. But of course, there are some certain issues or some certain uh, uh, vices that cannot be solved through AJS. Yeah,
Right.
and some includes issues of like terrorism, election petition,
Yeah.
sexual offenses.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, what have been the biggest barriers to the work that you do at the social justice centers?
The biggest barriers, of course, is the intimidation by the state. Of course, this
Yes.
when people did not realize I'm in a meeting. Yeah, so
Oh,
we have, of
yeah.
course, state intimidation. Of course, a lot of these justice centers. Um, most of the people or the young people that are there are volunteers,
Mm.
and so when they get greener pastures, when they move, you know, they when they get somewhere where they can actually be able to
Mm.
improve or get opportunities, they move, because I mean
Mm.
the whole idea is to try and come together
Mm.
and help communities seek justice.
Mm.
But then we can't really stop people who want to move, because it's very
Mm.
difficult
Yeah.
to sustain or to quantify the amount of work people do.
Right.
Because if you ask me, how much would you pay a human rights defender for the works that they do?
Mm.
It's basically unquantifiable. And
Mm.
so one of the challenges is that we lose our best people, our best brains, to other organizations or to other opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the other challenges as well will be running of these centers.
Mm.
Uh, it requires some bit of resources,
Right.
and so uh, sometimes it becomes difficult, because when there is no uh, uh, source of income coming to the center, it means
Mm.
basically current expenditure becomes an issue. And
Mm.
so sometimes uh, the vision bearers of the centers have to go dig deep into their pockets just to keep the centers running. Because
Mm.
of course, the whole idea is to make sure that we try as much as possible
Mm.
for the center to keep their doors open, so that
Mm.
whatever violations happen within the community, at
Mhm.
least people know that there's somewhere they can come to and
Mm.
get reprieve or get solutions for their problems. Yeah.
Mm.
Of
Mm.
course, there is the PBO Act right currently that is uh, threatening to, there are so many things that they want to change.
Mm.
The whole idea of CBOs. We've had a problem with registration of our centers,
Right.
because apparently the government does not like the use of the term social justice. So whenever some of our centers go to register, they are told, no, change that name from social justice to something else, community based. I don't know why they are threatened with the idea of social justice. So we've had
Mm.
those challenges.
Mm.
So right now with the PBO Act, where they want to clamp down on organizations and CBOs,
Mm.
having to. So we feel like sort of like this is just data mining, where they want to know, if there is some sort of like sort of who is funding. They want to know who is funding
Yeah.
these organizations.
Yeah.
They've come up with a lot of bottlenecks, which, if you, in my opinion,
Mm.
uh, are really not necessary, because community-based organizations are really just that. They are community-based, and so
Mm.
when you put out tough measures for them to comply, and you know very well some of the things they're asking for some of these organizations is very difficult. So it simply means this someone who wants to make sure you close, or they want to run you out of town, and so
Yeah.
those are some of the challenges we've been going through. Yeah,
Yeah.
and of course a
Uh,
lot of arbitrary arrests.
there's what?
Uh, of course,
Arbitrary
a lot of
arrest.
arbitrary arrests of human
Yes.
rights defenders and
Yes.
criminalization. Of course, we've seen how human rights defenders who have been uh, exercising their Article 37 rights are being
Mm.
branded as
Mm.
goons.
Yeah.
Uh, we
Terrorists.
even, we even had some of our colleagues the other day, charged in court.
Mm.
The three who were being charged with, organizing goons and
Yeah.
arson and all sorts of trumped up charges. And
Mm.
it's really a pity, because these are some
Mm.
of the, these are the patriots that have laid down their lives for the country. But when they are criminalized in such a manner, then it is very disheartening.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what then becomes the role of partnerships, multi-stakeholder partnerships? Because from what you're saying is that you cannot prevail in the work of social justice without maybe the ownership from the community, other non-governmental organizations, perhaps the CSOs. Yeah. So, what is the role of multi-stakeholder partnership in strengthening the work and the voices and amplifying the work that you do in the fight for social justice in Kenya?
That partnership is very important, because through that partnership we've had organizations that have come through when human rights defenders have been arbitrarily arrested and they needed cash bail, because human rights defenders fight for the rights of others, but who fights for the rights of human rights defenders?
Yeah. Yeah.
When human rights defenders are accused falsely and go to court and are slapped with a cash bail of 200,000 each,
Did we lose him?
to
Is it?
had with the police reforms working group,
Mm.
Missing Voices Consortium, which is a collection of organizations, human rights organizations that collect data of people who have gone missing due to enforced disappearance and extradition killings.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they have that, and they launch reports every other year. And so these kind of partnerships have also enabled human rights defenders to be capacity built in various fields, get scholarships to go study, get links to fellowships across other countries. And so the partnerships are very important because we cannot work in silos. I mean, we have to work together really, because if we don't work together, we are going to be hanged separately. And so there's need to have unity of purpose, and because we are all fighting for one thing, which are upholding of human rights in Kenya.
There are people who might not know what the work of social justice centers is in Kenya. So, is there like a way that we can understand a brief history of how social justice centers were formed in Kenya, and what role they play, even as we talk about mainstreaming social justice and the fight for it thereof?
Yeah, there was need for human rights defenders from the grassroots to come together and have a place we can organize. And so, just like I'd mentioned earlier, the idea of social justice centers was born in 2018 during that Saba March for Our Lives rally that we had, the march that we had. And so, the whole idea is to have in every part of the country a place within the community where someone can walk in. Trying to access justice and actually be helped, either through referrals or through direct advice, or because the biggest impediment to justice is the cost of justice. And so many people give up on justice because the cost of justice is very expensive. Having a lawyer, having to go to court every time, keeping the lawyer on retainer. Not many Kenyans can afford this. And so when you have an assurance that when you walk to a justice center, you'll find someone to document your case.
Yeah.
Most probably you'll find a link to a pro bono lawyer
Yeah.
who will follow up your case. And you also find psychosocial support, because these centers also offer psychosocial support to victims, because you have counselors who have been trained. And so even before we actually talk about justice, we first have to make sure that the client or the victim is in the right state of mind to actually pursue justice. And so these are some of the things the centers offer. They also are a resource center for young people to come, apply for internships, use the internet maybe to look for, apply for scholarships, look for jobs, do something meaningful with their time.
Yeah.
The social justice centers also has very good artists, because you also use art to talk about social justice. So we have a lot of artists who do graffiti. We have artists we have poets, spoken word artists. We have musicians or bands which sing revolutionary music. Some of this music you've heard being sung in the streets in the last since last year. These are songs that we came up with. I mean, it's only recently that people are actually catching up with them and asking, aya, kwani hizi wimbo watu walijifunza saa ngapi? The other day when we sang the wimbo wa mapambano in court, people were asking, where did these guys meet to train for this? But we've been singing these songs for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And so it's only now that people are actually realizing the importance of solidarity and actually struggle and struggle songs. And so for us, that really means a lot, because all that contributes towards the idea of social justice. Social justice
So,
movements in the country.
well, so you're saying that we could not necessarily be where we are at in the fight for social justice without the pertinent contribution of the work of art in the work.
Yes, because
Yeah.
music plays a very critical role in revolutions,
Yeah.
because there cannot be any revolution without music.
Yeah.
Now, music speaks to the heart, or
Mm,
art. Art
mm,
speaks to the heart of the populace. Like you see something, you see a graffiti of something, and you get a message. You get the message. You listen to spoken word,
mm,
the way artists bring this, craft these words beautifully and come up with a message, and it hits a nerve, and you realize, I also need to do something as a Kenyan. And so the role of art uh, cannot be underrated, because it has played a very critical role in
mm,
making sure that the struggles, we keep amplifying the struggles, and we keep bringing all these happenings, all the social ills that are happening to the fore, so that
mhm,
people understand that it's not business as usual to lack water. It's not
mhm,
business as usual for floods to kill more than 100 people,
mm,
because they are living just next to the river, because that is where they can afford. So poverty is very indignifying, and so
mm, mm,
really poverty is the enemy, because we've
mhm,
seen what people do for very little money. We've seen young men and women being given 1,000 shillings,
mm,
come and disrupt peaceful protesters who are actually speaking about issues that affect them as well.
mm,
And then later on, you hear them complaining that they were not even paid. I
mhm,
mean, the moment you are poor, everyone, you become a conduit. You attract every kind of people who will want to misuse you. They will
mm,
not want to ask you how they can help. They just want to uh, help you. They just want you to do their dirty bidding for them. And
mm,
so
mm.
it's a
Yeah.
very unfortunate turn of events.
Wow. How are marginalized communities plugged into the conversation? Because where we are in the age of diversity and inclusion, and I would be very curious, I beg your pardon, to know what are some of the perhaps statutory or quota systems, perhaps, or inclusion matrix that you have going on in the inclusion of marginalized communities.
Starting from the way the centers are,
Mm,
we do not discriminate
mhm,
on any person that wants to join us. So we have people living with disabilities, we have
mm,
people from the minority, from the marginalized community, we have the sexual minorities as well being
mhm,
part of us.
mm,
And so the whole idea is that we are not leaving anyone behind. And so even as we plan our things, even as we organize, we know for sure that these groups of people,
yeah.
we also give them space to organize themselves
Mm,
and to come up with campaigns and advocacies of things they will want to do. We give
mm,
them a platform where they will not otherwise be given, so that they can express themselves, so that they can contribute to the larger discussion or debates, national debates that are going on. And
mm,
we even opportunities that come, we make
mm,
sure that they are distributed equally, so that we don't anyone lagging behind, because that is the whole idea of social justice and socialism, where
mm,
we make sure that the available resources are
mm,
actually accessible to everyone. Yeah.
mm, mm. All right. I know I can already hear the background there. It's buzzing with activity. I know that you have to
Yes,
go.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Before we let you go, what so now let's just talk about some of the things that we can foresee in the next possible future. Um what gives you hope in the fight for social justice in the country? I mean, the heaviness of the issues that you deal with on a daily basis is quite a lot, and it's easy to plunge into how bleak it can get. But I'm sure that hope sometimes is something that we need to cling more into. So yeah, what gives you hope?
What gives me hope is that there are still good people in this country,
Mm.
still people with integrity,
Mm.
that have the best interest of this country at heart.
Mm.
And so, what gives me hope is that I personally will wish to give those people the mandate. You know, when Kenya is not short of leaders.
Mm.
We do not have any business recycling leaders who have proven time and time again that they are incompetent,
Mm.
they are corrupt, they practice nepotism, and they do not care about the country.
Mm.
And so, by virtue of the fact that a lot of young people are now conscious, socially conscious, they
Mm.
know their rights,
Mm.
they speak without fear, they are not afraid of authority,
Mhm.
and they cannot be gagged. And they are using the all available platforms
Mm.
to actually express their distaste and disappointment with
Mhm.
the current status quo and the current regime. And so, what gives me hope is that with this kind of organizing
Mm.
and with this kind of awareness, you
Mm.
cannot repeat they cannot repeat the mistakes that were done by their parents. They're not going to elect people based on their tribal cocoons, the Mtuetu syndrome, but they're going to elect people based on real issues, people who
Mm.
can actually deliver, people who actually talk less but do more,
Mhm.
people who don't promise us an elephant but deliver rabbits. I mean, people who are of impeccable uh, history.
Mm.
And so, the current discussions that are ongoing, I'm actually very positive that come 2027,
Yeah.
people are going to exercise their rights and we are going to get the right people,
Yeah.
not this stamping political class that we currently have.
Yeah. Have there been any success stories that you would like to share with us from your work?
We've had quite a lot of success stories. I
Mm.
will mention, I'll go for days on end. One of them was uh, a prosecution of um, a number of there's a Ruaraka OCS that was prosecuted.
Yeah.
A prisoner died under their watch.
Mm.
Um, tried bringing it down,
Mm.
but through the documentation of the social justice centers, is now incarcerated.
Mm.
We've had some of us actually getting into leadership positions in the civil service and actually doing great things,
Mhm.
bringing the human rights touch in the current works that they are doing.
Mm.
We've had some of us who are currently on scholarships outside.
Mine no, no, no. Uh, we we seem to be losing you, Mr.
Sorry
Alaman.
about that.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And someone was calling. Yeah.
Oh, someone was calling you. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. We cannot see you. Hello? Okay. You're back. Right. Okay. So I really know we are really pressed for time, but I have to ask this. What are some of the best global practices and trends in social justice that Kenya can pick lessons from?
Uh, in terms of social movements,
Mm.
is actually the consistency,
Mm.
um, the organizing around issues,
Mhm.
and you know, we heavily borrow on social movements in South America. You know, we've had really, and even the ones in North Africa as well. You remember the Arab Spring, where a wave of protests led to regime changes. So the lessons that we also draw is that we should always be prepared for a change of power. What if when power falls in the streets, we will pick it? Because we've drawn a lot of lessons on countries where revolutions happened, but then after that, they became even worse because they did not train the swamp. The people that were left, they actually went back and got the same people towards these positions. And so we really we learned a lot of lessons, and we hope that when our time comes, the lessons drawn from these revolutions in terms of the do's and don'ts will heavily inform our decisions on how we carry on in the next 2 years.
Awesome.
And we've had exchange programs with some of these movements. We've understood how they do their organizing. We shared our experiences. We've borrowed things from them. They've also borrowed some from us. That is the beauty of social movements.
Awesome. Okay, right. As we wrap up our conversation, how can people get in touch with the Dandora Social Justice Center? How can they get in touch with you? What's going on your front? And your parting shot as we conclude this our discussion for today. Also, you are tilted. Could you tilt back on portrait? You're on landscape. Yes, thank you.
So I'm on socials. They can get the Dandora Community Justice Center on Facebook. We also have the Social Justice Centers Working Group on Facebook. Our Twitter handle is at Uhai Wetu on X. So and my personal handles you'll find on Facebook it's Alaman. On Instagram is at Alaman_James. On Twitter it's still Alaman. On X is Alaman_James as well.
Yeah.
And my parting shot will be that it's very radical, but I say they cannot kill us and lead us.
Put that on a t-shirt. Put that on a t-shirt. They cannot kill us and lead us. That's very powerful. Awesome. I know you've got to go, but thank you so much for making the time to come and speak to us here about this very, I think it's an ever ongoing, ever evolving conversation. And of course, one show is not enough. So I do hope that next time we will have you live here on our studio as you tell us about the progress of some of the work that you're doing within, as it pertains to social justice. So thank you so much for the privilege of your time. It was my absolute pleasure hosting you on the Power Morning Drive.
Thanks for having me as well. Thank you so much. Hoping that next time I'll actually be there in person.
Sawa. We will be sure to look out for that. Enjoy your session. Salimia watu sana wa community.
I will. Have a good one as well.
As well. Thank you so much. Asante.
Cheers.
All right, guys, that has been our time with the Mr. James Alaman. He is a convener and, of course, a social justice advocate from the Dandora Social Justice Center there. We've been able to cover quite a lot in terms of the work that he's doing within the social justice movement. We've talked about alternative justice systems. We've also talked a little bit about what happens when it's the state that is actually the biggest impediment to the fast tracking of social justice. We've also looked at some of the things in terms of the barriers to their work, his biggest frustration in terms of social justice fast tracking, as well as what gives him hope. So that's a conversation that is still going to be on our YouTube channel. So do please go there, subscribe, please subscribe, because that's the way that we get this conversation going. That's the only way that we get also to amplify these very pertinent issues. So that has been our time with Mr. Alaman. So today, because I started with the interview, then I will now get into the news headlines. We will talk a little bit about what has been going on in the country. So allow me to take a quick musical break. I will be right back with the day's news, both local and international. Keep it Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Wanipigia sishiki, wanitumia ujumbe sijibu. Sijui ni kwa nini, I wish ningekuwa na majibu. I don't want to disappoint you, so I would rather avoid you. But believe me, I feel you, na ni kweli ninajaribu. Lakini moyo wangu huenda du. Every time I think of me and you, I'm afraid that I am going to love you, then later I am going to lose you. Moyo wangu huenda du. Every time I think of me and you, I'm afraid that I am going to love you. But I'm gonna try yeah, and give a chance utando lwa miluka yeah, kifuna ukupumelela My brain goes 100 miles an hour. I think of everything that could go sour. My heart really wants this to work out, and I'm terrified of getting a blackout. Lord, forgive me, I have been running away from my true feelings. And it's time to stop being afraid and face my true self. Lakini moyo wangu huenda du. Every time I think of me and you, I'm afraid that I am going to love you, then later I am going to lose you. Moyo wangu huenda du. Every time I think of me and you, I'm afraid that I am going to love you. But I'm gonna try yeah, and give a chance utando lwa miluka yeah, kifuna ukupumelela I'm gonna try utando lwa miluka utando lwa miluka kifuna ukupumelela kifuna ukupumelela kifuna ukupumelela kifuna ukupumelela kifuna ukupumelela kifuna ukupumelela kifuna I'm gonna try for you. 'Cause I'm gonna try for you. I'm gonna give my love to you.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. All day and night. Power Radio.
California vitu mzuri, tunaendelea mbele, hakuna cha huzuni hapa, furani tele. Kwa wale wamesahau mziki yangu bado ni genge, kwa wale wanatudharau tafadhali msifanye nicheke. Sitadanganya jamani, merudi studio leo na nasikia poa, na najua mnapenda kusikia sauti yangu, kwa hivyo ngoma poa tu ndo tazidi kutoa. Unatulia nini bana, mka tuzitoke, unapanguza nini bana, wacha jasho imwagike kote. Ataka kuna ukame tunajituliza na maji baridi. Clemo raundi ameniambia nokute na ngoma mbili mbili. Moral wacha iwabambe, na mjipandishe juu ka bendera, na mwimbe ngoma ka national anthem. Kule raundini acheni pia mi ninone, safari yangu ngepeleka mbio lakini mama kwenda pole pole. Usifikire nimechoka, niko na nguvu kazi ile ngombe nyona mtaani. Sitachoka kutafuta majani, sitachoka kuendelea na safari. Wacha mguu zangu zitembee, wasanii wote wa nguvu wa pepe. Kimaisha na kila kitu anafanya ni bidii, utafika pale unataka. Hata nikigonga so bado mziki zangu zitaacha kusambaza. Nimeamka chali yangu na sioni tena ka chalala. Weka mattress kando tunaenda kazi, weka stress kando mambo kwe safi. Moral watu wang'are, moral watu watambe, na mjipandishe juu ka bendera, na mwimbe ngoma ka national anthem.
Nataka tu heshima yako, nataka tu furaha yako, ndio ujue mahali bidii yangu imetoka. Nataka tu heshima yako, nataka tu furaha yako, ndio ujue mahali bidii yangu imetoka.
Bidii yangu imelazimisha watu wengi sana waruke. Asali bado nawapatia, tiongeza sukari utamu isishuke. Nikipanda tafana vile roho yangu inataka, sitapotea tena tankione wengine wakitukata. Pilipili ni aje sikuja nisaidie kwa kamata, lakini sijui itakuaje tukiwa roga sana. Sijui atajisaidiaje tukiwa bonda sana. Tuwafundisha kupumzisha nyundo na bado weze kuflex mkono vizuri. Kuingia gym kupanua kifua kiasi na kupumua vizuri.
Nataka tu heshima yako, nataka tu furaha yako, ndio ujue mahali bidii yangu imetoka. Nataka tu heshima yako, nataka tu furaha yako, ndio ujue mahali bidii yangu imetoka. Nataka tu heshima yako, nataka tu furaha yako, ndio ujue mahali bidii yangu imetoka. Nataka tu heshima yako, nataka tu furaha yako, ndio ujue mahali bidii yangu imetoka.
Kwa majina ni Yana. Iane.
Alexis on the beat.
Weka mziki, leo nataka kucheza. Nina mabeshte ndani kwa party, tunataka kucheza. Shida ni mingi, leo nataka kucheza. You know, we just wanna party and enjoy. Leo lazima nyama kwa wingi, ugali kidogo, pombe kwa wingi, chesa kidogo, mapenzi kwa wingi, chuki kidogo, situzitoke mdogo. Before the sun fits on us, tujibambe pamoja. Before the sun fits on us, tulewe pombe pamoja. It's all about good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. It's all about good vibes, and inshallah.
man them, all of the girl them. What I want every day we do it for the fun them. Sexy ladies in the party, man about money and you know it's an anthem. Give thanks to the Most High. Every day a blessing you see and we multiply. Bigger picture now your good side. A bigger picture now your good side. Jaba kwa wingi ngoi kidogo, usiogope choma foto. Pigia Cindy, pigia Jojo, na tunarudi soko. Cause I know you sacrifice, tujibambe pamoja. I know you sacrifice, situchome kimoja.
It's all about good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. It's all about good vibes, and inshallah. Nina mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku tunapare. Nina mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku si tunapare.
Nina mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku tunapare. Nina mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku tunapare.
Good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. It's all about good vibes, and inshallah. Mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku tunapare. Mabeshte ndani kwa gari, kila siku si tunapare.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
They call me Chris through the cantata. That's why they call me. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. That's why they call me. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. Yo, they say it's hard to compose a rhyme. I say you out of your mind or you full of lies. Then again, you could be the slow kind. I don't see how lyrics don't hypnotize. Why lie? The season has transformed. You got reason to be bored, so now you want more? I'ma serve you flavor that you can't afford. The bill about to get placed on your tempo. So don't even try to resist. Look at yourself bumping to the beat. Get up and get down with a G-twist. Forget the hater cause the fool's not on the list. Dig this, we came and we took over. Got the keys to the ride and we're not sober. We made an oath that we ain't gonna ride for you. So now it's hip-hop, ride us to the border. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. That's why they call me. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. They're taking over my head, dog, they on a hustle. I'm taking over their bread, dog, I'm on a muscle. Try to be cool, but I gotta mumble. Better yet, after that, there's a big tussle. Quit them tears, boy. Dry your eyes, see the G going, cheers, boy. Don't be mad, cause I say that you weird, boy. You kinda scared, so I see that fear, boy. Meditating on a cute shorty. Lean body, mean thighs like the chick bought it. I said real tight like they all assorted. If she arrested my ass, then she got a warrant. I'm a legend in the living, and that's that. I grab objects of vices you can't touch. Read all comprehension is too much. I know where's these words that bring the wrath. Let's go. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. Glad that you stopped by. Who are you? What's your business? Bye-bye. I hate people that think that I wanna rise. Yet and still, I'm the steel that will not fly. Ask why? I got this given data. On this planet, I teach you before the chatter. What I compose gets better by the day's weather. That's why they call me Chris to the cantata. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. Yo. 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 That's why they call me. They call me Chris through the cantata.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Righty, that is Nanani G by Kantai, and it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show with me and Wanyoike. Thank you so much for sticking with us right here again today. I apologize. We had to start with our interview this morning with Mr. Alaman James on the state of social justice centers, but also the state of social justice all together as a collective. And so now that's why we are doing our newspaper touch-ups, and then we get into what has been making headlines and a little commentary on the same. But let me just go through what is making the headlines, then you can go grab your copy of this dailies today to get an in-depth look on that. We start with the Business Daily. Insight battle to end Joho's port monopoly. We also have a story here about, it seems that securitization of statutory levies is the new game in town for our cash-strapped government. We also have a story about Cooperative Bank gets nod to keep processing coffee payments. Foreigners to sell 2.3 billion KCB stake. And state eyes more LPG farms on tokens. This is a story. Those you can grab your copy of the Business Daily for more details on that as well. Looking at the Daily Nation on at a glance, 6 counties get bulk of 3.7 trillion devolution cash. It's the story that is leading there. Then we also have a story on the top pages. Reign of fear as Shabab militia raid village, kill KDF soldiers on page 10, and breakthrough malaria drug offers hope for Kenya's tiniest patients. We also have a story about arrest mountain protest plotters. Say Ruto allied Mount Kenya MPs, and we saw them in a joint press statement there led by John Kiarie, which we shall also be getting a little bit later on into. It's a story that continues on page 7 of the Daily Nation. And last but not least, on the Standard newspaper, the story that is leading is a ticking time bomb. In the skies above Nairobi's Wilson Airport, pilots are risking their lives and those of their passengers every single day. What was once routine takeoff and landing is now a high-stakes gamble through a gauntlet of rogue high-rises, many built illegally in defiance of flight safety laws. At the heart of this looming disaster is a powerful northern Kenyan politician accused of arm-twisting regulators into green-lighting unauthorized skyscrapers along critical approach paths. Aircraft are now forced into steep last-minute drops to clear obstacles. One wrong gust of wind and it could all end in flames. There's a story there, again, on negligence in this country. And I think we need to really have a conversation about infrastructure, building developments around areas that should not, even at any given point, have residential areas, which airports is one of them. We also have a story about grade 10 crisis as half of schools miss learners. Mugonyi put to task over live TV order. You remember during the switch over stations during the the Sabasaba Memorial is the story that the Standard highlights there on page 11 of that newspaper as well. Right, but we have something else that has been happening from the arrest of Gachagua allies to the arrest also of DCP youth wing leaders Wanjiku Thiga and Peter Kinyanjui. So we did see the arrest of these two, not actually two, four, because of their allyship to former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Let's listen in to some of the statements that they had to say on this conversation, and we'll be right back to discuss it a little bit more.
Inanishika sasa. So what can it be? Mimi sijaingia police station maisha yangu yote. Sijaandikwa kwa hiyo kitabu. Na mimi si pastor. Ile nasafanyanga ni siasa. So wacheni twende tukasikie mbele.
Mimi nawauliza jambo la pili vijana. Musikubali na viongozi wenye hawana mipango yoyote. Watu wa ukabila na chuki. Watu wa kisirani na kuendesha vita na kupanga vita ya kuharibu mali ya watu wengine. Musikubali twende hiyo barabara. Tunaelewana jameni? Mimi nataka wale viongozi ambao wako na mashindano. Vile mimi nimepanga climate works. Vile mimi nimepanga affordable housing vijana wapate ajira. Vile nimepanga mambo ya labor mobility vijana wapate kazi. Watuambie mpango yao ni gani? Haiwezi kuwa ati mpango yao ni kupanga vijana waende waharibu mali ya watu wengine na kuchoma mali ya watu wengine. That cannot be an alternative plan for creating jobs in the Republic of Kenya. I am asking and I am telling my competitors, you have no credible plan on what you want to do about these young people of Kenya. I can confirm that I have a solid, credible plan on how to take the country out of unemployment. Today we are going to have 200,000 young people working in climate works. We are going to have 600,000 young people working in our affordable housing plan. We already have 400,000 working in our export of labor or labor mobility plan. What is your plan? It cannot be that you are planning on how to incite young people, on how to pay young people to destroy people's businesses, to burn people's properties, as if that is an alternative plan. That is not acceptable. Tunaelewana jameni ama tuelewani? Watu wa Nairobi tuko pamoja? Tuendelee na hii kazi.
Already premeditated. The former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua had mentioned about it.
No amount of intimidation, arrests, or whatever it is will intimidate us, will make us cower away from fighting for the rights of Kenyans, for fighting against the violation of human rights in this country.
All right. Yes. So that is the conversation there that's happening on the arrest of Manyata legislator Gitonga Mukunji, also Jane Kihara, who is the MP of Naivasha, and of course the DCP, that's Rigathi Gachagua's party, Wanjiku Thiga and Peter Kinyanjui. They are the youth wing leads there, and so it's an ongoing crackdown on the. It's an ongoing crackdown on democracy, and I think for sure this is something that we have to be very cautious about, right? When we find constantly having, and you've had that Gitonga Mukunji there saying that this was a premeditated arrest. It means that there was some. There has to be a way that he knew some information on the impending arrest that would later befall him or would have befelled him. And then, of course, you had Jane Kihara saying that, this is the government that she really fought hard for, and now it's the one that is turning against her. And with the alluding, the story being that there is an allusion there is alluding to the fact that because they are allied to the former deputy president, it is a crackdown on that kind of allyship, right? And of course, we also saw the Mount Kenya leaders coming together yesterday in a joint press statement. We shall also perhaps, I don't know whether we'll get the time to talk about some of the issues that they were able to raise, but I hope we can get into that. Yes, but really the intimidation, it's same tricks by the state to intimidate people, to deflect from the conversations that need to be happening, which is service delivery, which is, for example, we just talked about social justice this morning. How can people get access to education, for instance? How can people get access to medical insurance? How can people get access to medical services without necessarily paying for them? So again, it is notably so. 2027 is just around the corner, and of course there has to be this kind of political gimmicks that need to be played. Well, I'm not sure that there is a necessity for it. We don't need to be playing this, but I know that granted the historical precedents that we are currently in, is that politicians for the longest time, and how political the political stratosphere is designed, is that there's a lot of intimidation, especially from people that seem to be on the other end of the divide. And so it's definitely, if you want to read, you can read into this in the ways that you want to read into it. One camp of argument might look at it and say that, you never know what exactly goes on behind closed doors. These are conversations of politicians amongst themselves that we are never really privy to. And I can get that, and I hear that kind of argument. But from the outside looking in, it's really just that. It's an intimidation. It's a crackdown on democracy. People should be allowed to ally whatever side of the coin that they want to be part of. They should be allowed to ally whoever they want to ally with. So I think we are just tightening the rope as we ramp up towards the 2027 elections. And I really do hope that some of these things were really not things that we needed to discuss or even have to ever deal with or know what exactly is going on, because a fight again for politicians or within the political power play, political intimidation, the deflection from democratic allyship, deflection from exercising the rule of law, because that's a violation, rightfully, just because you do not agree with one sect of the political divide. Then now you start having cases where we are witnessing the continuous intimidation from one camp to the other. It sets a very bad precedent. And again, we're just shy of 2 years into the next general elections, and we've already started. Well, I don't even know that it started. No, we are actually continuing. Like, this is always a continuum. And by the way, Kenya, I just really hope that Kenyan politicians can stop this bad manners of always being on campaign mode. Like, immediately you get into office, can we please wait until 2027 so that you can start your campaigning? Honestly, I don't, even in the United States, for instance, because apparently it's one of the biggest democracies in the world, apparently, and I say that apparently because we all know democracy is just not working. Ideally it should work, but practically kwa ground vitu ni different. It's a very cute concept, but when the implementation of it is problematic, then it ceases to be cute. Yeah, like, it would be so nice to live in a country where it's not always electioneering period. Like, everybody is thirsty for power, hungry for power, greedy for power, that even within the 5-year tenure, it's like we have 4 years of straight campaigning, and then 1 year where we get to actually talk about the things that matter to the Kenyan mwananchi. Yet it should be the reverse, that we've not put you there into power so that you can amass more power and wealth for yourself. No, but it should be the opposite, that get into the office, make sure that the first at least 4 years, put in all the work that you need to do, then think about campaign 1 year towards that general election. So this, I can no longer say that we have a 5-year election cycle in Kenya. That's a lie. I think we have an all year round election cycle in Kenya. It's just that the voting actually happens after the 5 years. But if you look at the high octane politics and politicking that keeps happening in this country, it's honestly, it's bizarre. Like I'm not a politician, so I wouldn't know why the need to constantly be on campaign mode. But I started hearing about 2022, I think in 2017, and now since 2022, all I've been hearing is 2027. Then as if it's not enough, I know after 2027 we are just going to get into 2032 immediately after. So that constantly being on rapid, high octane politicking campaign mode, it's very tiring. And so I cannot say that it's sorry to the MP of Naivasha and Manyata there. I'm not so sure that I want to speak on behalf of the political class because today it's happening to them, tomorrow it might happen from them, you understand? Because politics is just set up that way. It's a very dirty and rough game. And so, that's all I'm going to say about this. And then, of course, we also listened in to the president there addressing Kenyans and saying that, he was calling upon Gen Z to stop being out in the streets. And he did mention things to do with he is working towards the climate, creating opportunities within the climate works. He also called on the Gen Z to stop protesting because kukiwa na vita, kazi yezi fanyika. And again, it's the same old tired gag. Like, why are we even having to hear such a tone deaf narrative going on in public, right? What do you mean Gen Z should stop protesting because the destruction of property is much more important? I mean, the first thing that we should be even hearing is an acknowledgement of how bleak and bad things are, that they're not there to just have a good time out on the streets. It's not about writing them off and telling them that keeping quiet and not protesting is what will give them the promise that they are out in the streets to rally up for. And so it's very, very, very it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we can still have a government that continues again disparaging and rubbishing people off from their rights, right? And so protesting is going to happen. It's going to continue happening because we have a constitution that gives us the power to keep protesting if we must, and until we get what we demand as the people of Kenya, I don't think that there is a conversation to be had there. So no one can deflect the Gen Z from taking up the mantle and pushing for a better country, a politically sustainable country, an economically sustainable country, socially sustainable and stable country. So it's just a deflection. It's a dissuasion that I don't think the Gen Zs are ready to have that conversation. Let me take a quick breather. When we come back, we look into some of the Mount Kenya press, the press briefing that was put together by the Mount Kenya region members of parliament and also leaders, and some of the key takeaways from that conversation. Keep it Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Promise me you won't look me high and never mind about closure. It's not very important. Many tosha. Oh, let's go away. Promise we will be okay. Oh, let's go away. Promise we will be okay. Oh, let's go away. Promise we will be okay. Oh, let's go away. Promise we will be okay. And when the sun's going down, I will bring you closer. Tukikata kakota, uko fiti, pewa soda. Many tosha, many tosha, many tosha, many tosha, many tosha, many tosha, many tosha. Oh, let's go away. Promise we will be okay. Oh, let's go away. Promise we will be okay. Oh, let's go away. Promise we will be.
All right. Sorry, because we're really running out of time. And I have to talk about this one story here. So yesterday, Ruto allies condemned protesters, and this is a joint statement that came from them, led by the Dagoretti MP, John Carrier. Let's listen in.
Thorough investigations into the chaos that led to the loss of lives and destruction of property. Those directly responsible for the violence must be arrested and prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And moreover, the sponsors and the orchestrators of this anarchy and violence must be unmasked and held accountable.
Right. Yeah. So that's it. That's what's happening in that camp. They are demanding for accountability on all levels, and we do hope that something is going to come out from that. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to delve deeper into that as well. But thank you so much for taking the time to spend your morning with us here on the Power Morning Drive Show. Let's do this again on Monday, same time, same place. Have yourself a fantastic weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Goodbye for now.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. From sunrise